What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and in today's video, we will be talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the owner of a million Discord kittens, Dream. Now, considering how popular he is right now, there's basically no way you guys don't already know who Dream is. I mean, he's as popular in name, at least, as someone like PewDiePie, in the sense that if you're on the internet, you probably have at least heard of Dream, right? In some capacity, you know who he is. Chances are, if you are above the age of, like, maybe 12 or 13, then everything you know about him has been against your will. But regardless, there's no denying how popular the guy is. Videos like this have skyrocketed him to the peak of YouTube fame, with his main channel closing in on 30 million subscribers, and a bunch of his friends also blowing up along with him simply from starring in his videos.
This video, we had a developer and friend of ours code 100 deadly floors on a Minecraft elevator with one goal: make the elevator kill us. If we survive all 100 floors, we win. If we die, the developer wins. This is Minecraft 100 floor survival.
He's more popular than any TV show. He's more popular than most music artists. The dude is absolutely crushing it in every capacity that he possibly could be on YouTube right now, you know? So good for him, all right? Everyone clap for Dream, round of applause for Dream and all of his success. Now, with someone as popular as he is, obviously some controversy will go along with that. When you are that popular, it's basically expected that there will be people to pick apart everything you do and criticize your every action, your every tweet, your every past statement, your entire past. Everything will be brought up at some point. When everyone can see what you're doing, chances are at least some of those people will also not like what you're doing. But I feel like Dream gets into more controversy than most people. Even taking into account the size of his platform, there are like a lot of times people have been really mad at him. Even his own fans seemingly become really pissed off at him now and then. And one of the reasons people get so mad at him is that Dream has a somewhat edgy past, which he would rather not talk about, and I think he wants to hide from his audience a little bit. And when you see the stuff I'm going to show you guys, I mean, it won't surprise you why. It's no secret that nowadays, to be popular online, it's a lot more advantageous to be politically correct, to not offend certain groups, to stay away from certain kinds of humor, certain kinds of jokes. It's just really the way that online culture has shifted in the last 6 years or so. And as a result, a lot of creators have had to disavow their pasts when people find out that they made an insensitive joke a few years ago or something like that. For example, Dream had to apologize, or maybe chose to apologize for this clip when his fans found out about it.
You may have noticed my hand. This is very interesting. We have Steve for guys, and we have Alex for girls. But they just recently added Tyrone. Now, this is a good change. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that love this change and they're gonna love to use this skin. Make sure you include Tyrone with Alex and Steve in the future. Do not segregate him from the rest.
Now, I thought this was pretty funny. I think it was pretty based of Dream to say this, to make this little meme. But I guess seeing how things have gone in the past few years, it's not surprising that he and a lot of people have decided to apologize for their entire past online, you know? Not a lot of people like this stuff anymore. They're like Tumblr cancer fan bases would never tolerate any amount of jokes towards a racial group or sexuality or any protected group like that. That's like the original sin to them, the ultimate sin, the ultimate crime against humanity, making a joke, okay? They really don't like that. After all, it's the current year, right? We can't allow such injustices as making a joke in a YouTube video or in a tweet in the current year. Clearly, Dream needs to be reprimanded for his actions, called out, and brought to justice for being a terrible person in the past. And maybe, just maybe, if he apologizes to people enough and becomes gay, then he will finally not be a terrible person, and we can forgive him for all of his transgressions against the, I don't know, the 12-year-olds on Twitter, right?
Tyrone.
Absolutely. Keck. Well, anyway, this seems to be happening more and more recently as snippets from his past and old YouTube videos that he deleted come out. People are actively digging through all of his stuff to find things to cancel him for, basically. Old tweets, old YouTube videos, old like Discord messages. People are dragging literally everything that they possibly can out of Dream's past in order to make some statement about who he is today, whether or not he deserves a platform, whether or not he should have ever gotten famous in the first place. And a lot of people are basically saying, like, Dream, you need to take responsibility and own up to your actions here. The most recent development on this front came yesterday, believe it or not. And people are really mad at him for this one. Yes, the Dream KKK edit is real. Here's the clip and a link to the Wayback Machine, a website that has saved over 672 billion web pages, where you can see and watch the whole video, as it was still unlisted in July 2020 on Dream's channel. And obviously, with the subject matter of this meme, people are not happy with him at all.
Until it is basically white.
Now, this tweet currently has 3,000 likes, which I expect to increase a ton more once people take note of the situation, because right now there's like a big controversy going on Twitter anyway, like people are shitting on him for other reasons. And honestly, even apart from like the fact that there's like stuff going on already, 3,000 likes seems pretty low for a Dream like drama, right? I've seen tweets calling him out or whatever that have had tens of thousands, if not upwards of 100,000 likes. But if you go through the quote tweets and replies here, you can kind of see the mentality that the people criticizing him, or like the people who look up to him who are disappointed by this, have to all of it. I want to cry. I understand, it really disappointed me as well, more than anything else he did. Let's try and find some content creators to support. I expect Twitter stans to treat Dream and his KKK edit exactly the way they treated Techno, Schlatt, Minx, and every other content creator they canceled because of something they did years ago. Actually, Dream deserves to be canceled even more, considering he shows no sign of remorse or change and blatantly lies about it. So I guess here there's some kind of impression that Dream is like backing away from this stuff and he denies that it ever happened, when according to the Wayback Machine at least, unless this is like a fake webpage archive, then obviously like the video was real, he did make these jokes, and he's trying to pretend like he didn't now. Hold on. 4 black people got doxxed by Dream stans because they called him out for the KKK video, and there's people defending this? I don't really know what this is about yet, but I feel like if I had to guess, there's no one really defending that. Like this is an extremely simplified version of events with no nuance, and if you actually look into it, there probably will be a perfectly reasonable explanation for what Dream defended, and I doubt anyone was like, yeah, 4 black people getting doxxed, that's really cool, okay? Like the amount of people that do that, the amount of people that actually would endorse that, the crazy freaks on Twitter are so negligible that it doesn't even matter. Like there's like no one defending that. What is wrong with you people? I've seen so many people downplaying the edit Dream made. Whether he remembers or not, let me explain some of the things the KKK has done towards the black community. And basically a lot of people are going through his past shit and trying to drag him down for it when it has no real relevance to his content and like didn't hurt anyone when it happened. It was years ago and barely anyone even saw this joke when it came out. So in my eyes, it's pretty shoddy to even like bring it up now as like a point against him. Like who cares? He was a lot younger. Things changed a lot in that time. He probably didn't expect to become as famous as he is now back then. He was just making dumb jokes on the internet like most kids do. If he says he changed, then just let him move on with his life. You know, he was literally a 15-year-old kid making dumb jokes. This is what a lot of people, I feel like, who criticize him don't seem to take into account. Like, okay, personally, I can't pretend to be above any of this humor because, not gonna lie, to this day, I think the Dream edit is a little funny. But you have to remember that the guy is 22 years old right now, okay? In 2015, he was like 15 years old. That's not really that old, first of all. Like, as far as making him responsible now for shit he said then, I would argue he shouldn't really be held accountable for it at all. If you're really that concerned with what everyone is saying when they're like 15 years old, I would argue that you should all dump everything you say from the ages of 13 to 17 and see how acceptable all of it is. Every single screenshot, every single DM, and make sure they're out of context too. When you're young, you just do and say stupid shit. That's part of life. But additionally, as easy as it is to say, oh well, don't downplay the entire thing. I mean, Dream made a racist edit. He's engaging in bigotry. He's engaging in humor based on bigotry and the KKK. Like, you know, you have to take into account that internet culture was radically different years ago. It really was a completely different place. Most of the 12 to 14-year-olds who are mad at him for this may not even know just how different literally every aspect of the internet was back then, but it was not the same at all. Things that a lot of users today would consider completely unacceptable, reprehensible, and like, you know, stuff that everyone should just look down on. And it's like, oh my god, how could anyone think that's okay? How could anyone even think that's remotely funny? Stuff like that was commonplace. Like this is a very tame thing, honestly, for 2015. I expect there to be much worse out there from Dream, if not from like every other YouTuber around that time. Back then, you had popular YouTubers constantly making jokes to the extent of, you know, like every race. They used slurs in their jokes, and they even joked about tragedies that killed hundreds, if not thousands of people. 9/11 jokes and Holocaust jokes were a big part of just popular meme culture back then. So while you may find it disgusting or terrible, back then to a lot of people it was just kind of whatever. And especially to a suburban white kid like I assume Dream is, it's not super easy to just put emotion into jokes you're making, and perhaps realize the gravity of the stuff you're joking about if you grew up in a world completely detached from all of that, right? In the same way you want him to have empathy for you, you also have to empathize with the fact that Dream is not from the place you are. He's from a completely different background. He's older. He's had a lot more time to make mistakes and fuck up. And he came from like an internet culture where things just were not like nearly as progressive as you're making them out to be now. Like, it's easy to say now, like, oh, I can't imagine anyone ever finding that funny. But literally everyone found it funny then. Everyone who was on the internet was like laughing at that shit. It was all over everywhere. I mean, Philip DeFranco, you know, people who are typically considered to be very like brand friendly, brand safe, were promoting people like iDubbbz and Filthy Frank. Even videos where they said the N-word. Like that was a cool thing. That was an acceptable thing. Now it's like unimaginable to you people, but back then that was the status quo. There are probably way more jokes like this that people will find that will make them upset at Dream, but it's only because you hold the guy to like this weird, impossibly high standard, rather than realizing that as famous as he is, he's a guy at the end of the day. A morbidly obese guy who used to make a lot of edgy jokes. And as a result, he can also be affected by the world around him, by the people around him, by the conditions of like internet culture. And so you can't expect him to just act totally independently and not have any flaws, okay? No one is like that. Just a few years ago, most of the people you like today, including I guarantee every Minecraft creator right now, was saying the N-word on Discord and laughing at Filthy Frank jokes. This is how they all were, and I would bet money on it coming out that all of them have done some weird or edgy shit, because that's just how the entire internet was back then. Hell, Carl Jacobs used to like appear on Ice Poseidon streams. That's something that like, if most of Carl Jacobs fans knew about the shit Ice Poseidon did and said back then, they would be absolutely like going insane over that. But it's like, you know, everyone was just into that shit back then. That was what was funny and popular. Literally everyone did it. That being said, there are those like me who are still like 10 years old mentally and laugh at the same shit I was laughing at like 10 years ago. So there's nothing else to say on that subject. Like I'm mentally stunted and brain dead. But you really got to give Dream a little leeway here, right? Like he didn't do anything that wrong. Come on. But that clip is not the only thing people are mad at Dream for. People are claiming that he encouraged harassment and doxing. Really? A YouTuber with 30 million subscribers supports both of those? Well, no, he actually doesn't. People just stretch the meaning of those words because they absolutely hate this guy and will basically come up with any like fake ass criticism to apply to him just because of like the fact that he's mean sometimes. This tweet about Dream absolutely blew up and got 80,000 likes from a like Scott the Waz parody account with the caption, "What is wrong with this man?" And here we have Dream saying, "Seeing people private their Twitter and delete their tweet after I reply to them to call them out on BS is so satisfying. You're sending your community to harass random innocent people. I'm calling them out on their BS. They can turn off their phone and reflect on their dumbassery." And once again, with this one, like what is the issue? I'd even say this is kind of based, okay? People with public social media accounts talk shit about Dream. The man himself responds to a public post they make, and they get fucking owned. Is that big of a deal to you? Like, does this matter to anyone, or are you all just like virtue signaling? This is literally just the consequences of actions like existing, and you're mad at that. Additionally, like this whole online harassment meme is really stupid too. If you talk shit about someone and they respond, then like it's not their fault for responding to you. Like you came at them first. You now deal with the consequences of your actions, which is that you talk shit about a public figure on a public platform and were wrong about what you said and you got called out. If it bothers you that much, then don't talk shit. It's that simple. It's really that easy. Stop being a pussy. If you get the attention of a bunch of people, sometimes that is the consequence. People get mad at you. It's not the end of the world, and you will make it, okay? I promise you will make it. Now, there are claims that Dream encouraged doxing because he responded to someone who was then doxed. Not by him, keep in mind, like he didn't dox them, but people who he didn't talk to, people who he has no involvement in, decided to dox them, I guess. Some of his rabid fans, you know, you could say. And once again, what is the issue with Dream here? Like, doxing is bad. I'm not going to defend that, especially with like some random person online. That's a really bad thing to happen, and I do feel bad for them. But at the same time, like, how can Dream be held responsible for everything his fans do? Should he just be held to this impossible standard where anytime someone does anything mean on his behalf, he automatically is the one who faces responsibility? No, of course not. That's fucking stupid. But because Dream is Dream, people just hate his guts to no end, and they will basically like stretch anything to be critical of him. And if you actually read the rest of the screenshot here, which unfortunately this account cropped, so you can't see all of it, but if you read the entire screenshot, Dream actually elaborates and like it makes more sense, and and he didn't say anything that crazy. Like, it's just mind-boggling that this many people are mad at him for shitting on someone who shit on him first. Also, I'm not sending anyone. I recognize people will attack anyone I reply to, positively or negatively, but that doesn't mean I can't still reply and speak my mind. They're the one replying to my tweet in the first place. Want me to leave you alone? Leave me alone then too. Criticism comes with hate no matter who you are and what you're getting criticized for. Same thing applies to me. The potential for hate doesn't make you immune to criticism. Either way, satisfying as hell. Bye-bye. Like, once again, the guy said absolutely nothing here that's out of line or insane. He's not encouraging harassment. In fact, he specifically denounces harassment, but he's like, hey bro, if you come at me, you can expect me to respond and shit on you, especially if you're wrong. And like what am I supposed to fault him for that? For being like, fuck you people who constantly lie about me on the internet and say stupid shit and stretch the truth. Even the people who are mad at this tweet, I feel like Dream deserves to quote tweet this and be like, shut the fuck up, moron. It's not like Dream went to some random 10 follower Twitter account who had never said anything about him and was like, hey you, time to get harassed. Hey kid, you want to get doxxed? No, he saw someone saying something wrong about him specifically in his replies, and he replied. That is life. I do not know what you people expect from the world. If you criticize someone, you can also be criticized. And I don't want to come across here as a Dream simp, okay, as a Dream stan, because I'm sure I'll get some like people accusing me of being that in the comment section for whatever reason. No, I'm not a Dream fan. I don't watch his videos. I have no personal investment in his story or him. I've criticized him a lot in the past, okay? I've criticized him in multiple videos before, both on Turkey Tom, on this channel. I've criticized many things he's done, but the amount of hate this guy gets proportionate to the amount of like sense that the actual criticism against him makes is just so dumb. So fucking dumb. You people are 10 times more stupid and insufferable than any Dream fan. Your brain is clouded with a thick fog that compels you to be a Twitter spurg and do nothing else but behave without reason and hate someone. I don't even know why people hate Dream at this point. Like, is it just because he's popular? Like, I genuinely don't know why so many people are so obsessed with fucking hating this guy. And then people are like mad at him for making jokes too, which are obviously jokes and are trying to like construe them in some homophobic manner. Like, bro, just there's got to be something else to do with your time, all right? This is so pointless. Like the YouTube channel, people at this point will just intentionally frame things in the worst way possible to shit on him with no like backing, with no like they're not even trying to make sense. They're just saying fucking bullshit. And I guess it annoys me to no end that these people are on Twitter doing this. Honestly, I find the Dream hate, like I said, even more insufferable than Dream fans at this point. I don't give a fuck. Fuck all of you. So yeah, that about wraps up the video for today. I'm basically just mad at all of these people, honestly, on all sides of this argument, who are acting like chickens with their heads chopped off. Not taking into account any facts, any logic, or base tech knowledge, okay? They're simply being cringe, and we can't have that. If you guys liked this video, then be sure to leave a like on it, and if you disliked it, be sure to leave a fat dislike on the video. And hey, drop a comment down below giving me your thoughts on all of this entire situation, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, whether you're a Dream fan, a Dream stan, a Dream simp, a Dream cuck, or whether you hate Dream, okay? Whether you're one of the most critical people in the world against Dream and you feel that he deserves to be deplatformed and exposed for, I don't know, being fat. It's always great to hear what you guys have to say. I will see you all in the next video, probably soon, but I honestly don't know when it's gonna be. Anyway, bye.